Hey gang, Sam Ward here with another worship story for today. Well, it's the life of Moses. And with Moses, there is just so much to unpack. So I'm only going to hit a few highlights. So first of all, a little backstory. Moses is part of an oppressed people, the Israelites, who are slaves in Egypt. And I'm sure that the Israelites had a few questions. They're thinking, what about this God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob? What about all of these promises that God made? What about this whole relationship thing? So, backstory. Pharaoh has ordered all the baby boys to be slaughtered. So Moses' mom hides him in the reeds there along the Nile River, and eventually the Pharaoh's daughter, ironically, providentially, finds him, and he is raised among the Egyptian elite. But he always recognizes and always connects with the Israelites. Those are his people. And so when he sees an Israelite being abused by an Egyptian, he reacts and murders the Egyptian, is then on the run for his life and becomes a shepherd in the desert. So then he happens to be in the desert one day and he sees this burning bush. God meets him in the burning bush. The bush is not consumed, but God speaks to him, and Moses has to take off his sandals because the ground is holy, because God is there. So therefore the ground is holy. Now this is where it gets interesting, because Moses asks God, how can I let the Israelites and Pharaoh know that this is really you? This is really God. Like, what is your name? What should I call you? And he says, I am who I am. Now, in the Bible, this is usually written Yahweh or Lord, capital Lord, Lord. But from what I've read, you could understand this to mean, I will be who I am. In other words, God is faithful and he will always be faithful. So then, fast forward again, Moses gets all of the Israelites, with the power of God obviously, out of Egypt, and they go out into the desert. This is after the plagues, after the Red Sea crossing. They end up at Mount Sinai. Okay? So now you have God showing up not just in a burning bush, but a burning mountain. And God sets up a relationship with his people. God had come to live with his people. Does that sound familiar? This time of year, we're looking to the same God. The God who said, I will be who I am. The one who said, I am Emmanuel, God with us. So this season, we can remember that God is the same God. Same God as Moses is our God today. The God who was, will be. And Emmanuel is with us. And so the same God that lit up the bush, that lit up Mount Sinai, that lit up the skies of Bethlehem to mark the birth of his son, is here with us.